Hello everyone. I suggest we wait another minute for people to join us and then we will start.
Now we already have another like for this communication. I'm excited.
So, maybe begin. Okay. My name is Anastasia and I'm marketing specialist at software development company JetSoftPro. And I will be host of our today's live stream. Next to me is Lina Sivura, head of marketing of JetSoftPro, and she will be our speaker today, and she will share her extensive experience in marketing with us. So before we dive deeper into our today's topic, let me provide some organizational moments. For instance, our today's live stream will last for approximately 1 hour with 30-40 minutes for our discussion about marketing problems and then 10 minutes for our question and answer session. You can leave all your questions in special Google form. We have attached it in our live chat and we'll do it a few more times. So please ask your questions and then we will choose one lucky person who will receive a free marketing consultation from our Lina. Yes, and also at the end of our live stream, we will announce our next live stream about marketing. So stay with us. And Lina, could you please share with us 5 marketing mistakes we would talk about today?
Yes, thank you, Anastasia. So, hi guys, I'm so excited to see you here on our live stream, and I hope you hear us well because our microphone, we never tested it before, so it's kind of our first stream. We are trying to do our best, but however, if you hear us well, please leave comments on our chat. We can see it right now, and through along this stream, we will hear your voices from this chat. So please share your opinion. It's very important to us. And this live stream is connected to main marketing issues related to startups. I selected 5 top problems, 5 top ways, we name them, to kill your startup because it is really important steps to avoid to help your startup survive. Because in this very difficult and highly competitive market, startups are really in danger and you need to follow some instructions, of course, and you need to provide your audience with right marketing because marketing can both help you to reach success and can harm you and even take all your money. So we will discuss 5 main marketing problems today. First of them is marketing research need to be a real research. I'll explain it a little bit later. It may seem, a little bit strange and weird, but that's true. The second point is competitive advantage. This is the step when the most of startuppers have their mistakes. So competitive advantage is our topic number 2. And our third idea is that SEO can harm your startup because of wrong marketing surrounded by the SEO's activities. And the second, it's fourth, yeah, already fourth. It's crowdfunding, which is highly popular among startups to attract some investments, on the seed stage and on the first stage of releasing your idea. And on this stage of crowdfunding, you may do a lot of mistakes that will break the campaign and the campaign will fail because of very ridiculous reasons somehow, and we'll discuss it. And the last but not the least, as it's common to say, it is influencers, because influencers can eat all your money and you will not receive any result. And we'll discuss how to avoid this with all these 5 troubles and 5 problems and 5 ways to kill your startup. I will share my experience on previous jobs and here in JetSoftPro because my experience is highly wide and vast. So let's discuss it probably, right?
Okay, let's start with the first problem. And how do you think how important is marketing for startups in general?
It's pretty hard to answer this question, but the short answer is crucial. It's really very important because marketing is both the way to check if your idea is good for your target audience and to reach your first, money for your ideas because it's very important to have something in return for all your efforts you put in this idea. So the short answer is kind of super crucial. But talking about marketing, we need to probably focus on first step, which is marketing analysis. And I would like to explain what did I mean when I say that marketing analysis should be real, not a thought experiment. So I will talk a lot because I have a lot of experience in this niche, and that's my pain in my heart. So be ready, prepare for listening. Well, it was like 2011. The last part of Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows, just released on market. And it was kind of insanity around Harry Potter. Everyone loved Harry Potter, and this topic was on the top of every chart and on the top of all news. And the last movie came up, and people just came to movies and watch it. So I had a client. He was a young man, like 27 or 28 years old, and he was like from one of CIS countries, from a very, very small city, like 3,000, maybe 3,000 hundreds of people living in it. It's very, very small city, really small city. And he just loved Harry Potter. And he came up with the idea to have breeding business, all breeding business, owls, birds. Just imagine it. 300,000 people. Birds breeding center. Okay, we asked him how he wants to, to sell it because not everyone in your reality, probably not every your friend want to buy an owl. And basically, I need to put some effort to understand the topic and to somehow make a research for marketing campaign. So I need to go deeper into the life of owls. And it was a very strange experience in my life, however. I knew very interesting moments about owls' lives. Because first of all, you probably don't know, and it's absolutely okay if you're a normal person, you don't need to know it. But owls, they are very picky. They are not just an animal you can have, and basically they do not carry letters in reality. So if you want an owl, you need to have a special kind of kennel, a big cage to somehow have a place for the owl. And also, owls, probably that they do not have teeth and they eat like mice and small birds and different little animals. And they have thing called pellet. Pellet is a kind of piece of food that they cannot digest and they just bring it back. And if the owl lives with you in your house, so you will find those surprises around your rooms. So it's not a very, attractive offer from the very beginning. And you need to somehow sell this perfect and brilliant idea. So first of all, we decided to do somehow a marketing research, of course. And I asked my client, what are you doing and how will you ask your target audience about if they need owls? And he said, oh no, I'm absolutely sure people just love Harry Potter. They will buy it. Okay, said I, let's just calculate. We have 300,000 people in your city. And all these people, okay, let's say the young people are 10% of this population, and they have parents, and probably all can be, they can be very costly, and not everyone has enough, even willing and money to have a novel. So I just wanted to calculate how many people he may expect on when selling his owls. And he decided that it's not a very big problem because, okay, yes, city was really little, but he may deliver his owls. How? Asked I. And he said, well, cardboard boxes are acceptable in our local post service. So I can just put a bird in a cardboard box and I can send them to another city, or maybe people can come to my this breeding center on their cars, and they will just buy all and take them with them to their new house. So it was absolutely ridiculous. I know that's strange, but this example is very clear to understand why marketing analysis should not be a thought experiment, because the whole marketing analysis conducted by this person, this my client, ex-client, it was just like, okay, I think it will be good. Of course, many startups didn't do the same previously, and they will not do the same next time when they came up with a new idea on the market, because somehow you will google something, somehow you will ask some people about your product and about your idea, and you will know their experiences and their meanings and anything they can think about it. But usually it's not enough just to ask some of your friends and relatives, because your target audience may differ from you. And it's very important to understand that people that will buy your goods are not necessarily people that you expect will buy your goods. And this marketing analysis has the main purpose to find your target audience ready to pay money from the very beginning, from the first stage, when you need this first money to continue your new business. So it's kind of in general words, and maybe I can go somehow in details.
Yes, maybe I could answer some questions, so ask some questions. So,
Okay.
how to conduct marketing analysis when there is no product yet?
Yes, it's very important question. Thank you.
For instance,
Anastasia.
I don't have all, and I don't know what to buy or what to sell, and what should I do in such situation?
Yes, by the way, it's very important. It's a kind of very often mistake, because people think that, okay, now I have an idea and a little bit later I will have a product and I will do this research when I have a product, because I have something to show people and to understand their reaction. And that is wrong, because on the stage of just idea, you need to confirm that this idea is kind of sustainable, that may interest your target audience. And how to conduct this marketing research. First, your helper is Google. You need to start from searching your competitors. You need to somehow type this search request with words about your idea in a different phrases about your idea, and you need to find some local or even far competitors from different zones, maybe different countries, because it's still okay, just to understand if someone has similar experience and if they had some success stories and what you can learn from them, because it's very difficult in our age to find an idea that is absolutely new and absolutely unpredictable. So probably someone has started your idea, but maybe they didn't succeed. Maybe they had a kind of pivot of this idea, and you will change something and hit the market. So you need to start from Googling your competitors and learning their success story. The next thing you need to do, if you don't have a product yet, is to request some analysis from your potential target audience. First of all, you probably know what problems, if just one, does your product solve. Because if you know the problem, you may imagine the audience that is highly engaged in this type of problem and that face this type of problem, and you need to ask them how did they solve this problem before. What method or tools did they use, and how they would like to solve this problem, because this is the main source of insight for your brand. So if you have these stages done, next thing that you may do is to create a small prototype, which always not take all of your money. And this is actually what we do on Wednesdays, because we have publications on our LinkedIn. If someone is still not follows us on LinkedIn, please fix it, because we really publish very interesting posts. And each Wednesday we post a new prototype of mobile app that we are ready to develop. And this mobile app is a kind of made by our designers, but it's visualized and you can see how it works. you can take this prototype and you can show it to your target audience and first of all ask their opinion. When you have this type of opinion and a first minimal version of your product or probably just a prototype, you need to collect all the feedback from your target audience and to understand what moments people pay attention for. And this will be the beginning of your next developings on your startup. And this is the basis and the ground from which you need to start. It's very important not to do what you think will be good. You need to confirm, to verify each step with your target audience. It's really important for startup because there are a lot of, tempting opportunities on your startup way. And, this startup road is kind of road of uncertainty because you can always need something more before you hit the market. You need more and more features, one more, and one more, and it never stops. It's everlasting iterations, and this is don't do this. This is not what you need to do because you need to start from a very small, very simple thing that is available to be both. I mean, people may pay for it and you will have your first money for this small thing. And then you may expand it, you may make it wider, stronger, you may add some features, but start from something that is selling from the very beginning because this is the best way to verify your idea. So probably this is how to do this.
Okay, I have already one question. You have said about the prototype and sharing it on your target audience, but how many people should be in this focus group to that all this data be represented? Okay.
Yeah, thank you for your question. Okay, again, the short answer is as much as possible, as many as possible. We talk about people. And of course, you need to understand your real capacity to ask people. If you live in a small city and you have not very big networking and you make some local product, probably it is enough to ask like 100 people. It's enough to understand. But if your product is adaptable to online, it is much better if you come to some Quora or Reddit or even Facebook or LinkedIn and ask a lot and ask many people. Thousands, hundreds, the more information you have, the easiest it is to make right decision because numbers is everything. You may, you may rely when making a startup, you may rely on your own intuition, on your fantasy, or you may rely on digits. And believe me, relying on digits is much more beneficial than or your fantasy because fantasy never pay you money.
Yes, I agree. I think the same with competitors on the first stage. Yes, the more is the best.
You mean research on the competitors?
Yes. How many competitors should be found?
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes, when let's say when Uber came up, it was something very new, and there were not a lot of competitors. But however, I'm pretty sure that Uber analyzed a lot of taxi services and a lot of car sharing services, maybe even not the right function that they offer to the market, but something similar. You need to, when you search for a competitor, you need to find out the way how your customers previously solved the problem that you offer them to solve with your solution. And this is the main approach you need to use with competitors. And of course, the much information you somehow rework inside your team and inside your business, the better.
Okay, I have also one question.
Yes.
You said about this startup with oats.
Yes.
Have you found some competitors of such startup?
No, he was absolutely alone on this market. I'm not saying that there were no people abroad and somewhere in the world. I'm pretty sure that there are somehow breeding centers for owls. They, however, took some owls for Harry Potter movies, so probably some people do with this mess. But this boy, he was absolutely alone. And sometimes it is very important because sometimes if you are totally alone with this idea, it may seem that it's cool and my idea is superstar idea, but it is often just means that this idea is absolutely not interesting to the audience. Sometimes you never know how it works, but sometimes it's good and sometimes it's very bad. If you do not have competitors at all, it may be a problem. So pay attention to this too.
Okay, thank you. I think that's always the first mistake. Please, guys, ask your question in the form. I will copy it one more time, and we will go to another 1 minute to another mistake. The second was about
competitive advantage.
Yes. What should this competitive advantage be like?
Yes, competitive advantage is the pain because you probably heard about competitive advantages that are highly popular, meaning our prices are really kind of small, and our quality is just best of the best, and our team is just the youngest of all the young teams around the globe. So this is possible to use this general type of differences and differentiation as a competitive advantage, but real competitive advantage is the way to pay attention to your startup and to your product among your target audience. So you need something, just one thing, that will help you to take their attention, to take their eyes, to make them stare at your product. So how to realize this competitive advantage? I had a startup, my own startup. We somehow found each other with my co-founders, friends from one of previous jobs. And this startup was about traveling, and we envisioned it as a mobile application with a very specific type of tours among cities. So the idea was you come to, let's say, Kyiv, which is the capital of Ukraine, and you open this mobile app and you select filters. Like, we are two people and a dog, and we love beer and museums, and we want to have a walk around Kyiv, around city center, for 2 or 3 hours. And the application should have selected quests for you, not just trips, but quests with very interesting tasks and questions. And we even supposed that we can engage our local businesses to this quest, because they can give, some offers, some proposals to people that will go around their, restaurants or hotels or anything. But the idea was very cool because we had a Foursquare as a competitor. Of course, it's like golden time, and Foursquare just had the list, and TripAdvisor, of course, they had the list of attractions in the city. And the difference of our product and our main competitive advantage was the content, because we offered not just trips and not just list of this point that you need to attend, but quest, kind of logical game you need to pass through and do everything. And of course, this content, while it was our main competitive advantage, it still was our main headache and main trouble, because it was a very great idea when I'm living in Lviv and I can create 4 or even 5 quests for this mobile app, but we need to fulfill it somehow with many quests, because 5 is not enough to to respond to all these filters that you select. So the first barrier that we bumped into was the content. And it just meant that we selected competitive advantage, which cannot be realized. So here is two main features of competitive advantage you need to follow. Your competitive advantage should be very simple, and it should be attainable. I mean, reachable. You need to select something that you can have, from the very beginning, and not paying all your efforts and all your money, because you start on the really competitive market. And as a startup, you need something to say, okay, stop scrolling your social media, stop staring at your mobile phone. I will show you something really new. And to confirm this idea, you need this new thing. So the competitive advantage can be a very special technology that you offer to people, something that help them to solve their problems in a different ways. They never tried before, and this way, of course, should be more convenient than all previous ways available on the market. It can be, let's say, design, because I had a good experience with one of startups. It was system for booking tables on restaurants. And of course, we had a lot of competitors around the world and mobile apps and sites, and you just can call to the restaurant and book tables. So why to use any other platform? But we had a very simple competitive advantage: design, because it really looked good. It was very simple. I mean, UI UX. It was very understandable how to book a table, and you can just press literally like 2 or 3 times the button and select time in a very convenient way. And you can do it from your phone and from your website web interface. You just need an internet and 2 minutes to book a table, and you have all confirmation. You don't need to call to the restaurant. You don't need to confirm anything. So this simple design that simplified this process for people was very successful, and this competitive advantage helped us to grab to the top of the market in a year or even more. But then this project needed somehow to be pivotable, and we didn't manage this. We didn't have actually investment for continuing working with it. But this time, when we use a design as our competitive advantage, was really good. So this is also the way. It's very difficult to recommend any particular competitive advantage like here on air, because I don't know the situation. It's very depending on what your startup shows up and how it works. So you probably need to have consultation or to ask people that work with your product inside your team what is our competitive advantage, because it's very important that your team shares the competitive advantage that you promote to the market. And of course, if you need help, you can also contact us on JetSoftPro, and we will help you with our marketing support. And maybe, who knows, maybe you will be our lucky guy who will have this free consulting from us after this live stream.
So you said about UI UX design as competitive advantage, and I have a crazy idea.
Okay.
What if I copy this advantage from my competitors but make it a little bit better?
Okay.
Would it work?
Yes, absolutely. If you have, let's say, you have 3 competitors with very similar functional, and they offer the same solution for the same problem that you offer. And if they offer good design, if you can make it even better, you may use it as a competitive advantage. And you may say, okay, my design is even better than this previous beautiful design. And this is the way to solve your problem even more convenient. It is, it's very common situation in the niche that is probably not very understandable to all of our audience, but sometimes maybe they stared at, and maybe they saw this type of products. I mean, calendars for women's cycle. And these calendars are they work like calculators. You just need to to press a button when the period starts and when it finishes. No, well, you may put some notes to this process, but still it is the same again and again. Just date, and you just know that okay, periods are here, and we are absolutely happy about this. No, that doesn't work this way. And the best competitive advantage in this type of product is design. And each new product that comes to the market, they just can compete using new and more convenient design. So yes, it's absolutely adequate and absolutely normal way to somehow to beat your competitors with their cards.
Okay, and the last question. Can I change my advantage, or
Okay.
should it be from the beginning to the end of the project of my startup? Same.
Okay, I see. Well, of course not. Startups are a very special type of business, and everything is changes all the time. And if you understand in one day that your competitive advantage doesn't work anymore, you don't just you need to change it immediately. So it is possible to change competitive advantage with having good results for you, but you need to understand that it's not kind of initiative from your team. So you think, okay, our competitive advantage is not very good. I need to try something else, and maybe 2 or 3 times this month we'll try a new competitive advantage. No, it doesn't work so. But if you have a real new feature that changes everything and that responds to real requests from your target audience, so yes, you may change your competitive advantage. And of course, every time you change it, you need a new marketing campaign to let people know that everything is new now.
Okay, you're saying you understand. So, people, please ask your question in our form, and we get to ask a question.
Yes,
And
we still we have. Oh my God, we have like half of our talking. Oh my God, sorry guys. I have a lot of pain in my heart so, about the marketing. Okay, I need to go a little bit faster. So I will explain the three next troubles. First of all, is SEO can harm startup. It's a dark side of the market. Okay, what I'm talking about. CEO's personality is often very strong personality, and CEOs are the type of people that always know better. They may say, okay, I know all your target audience, all your marketing researches, that's all nice, and that was very informative. Thank you for doing this job, and this but, if you hear this but, that's a trouble. Because this but means that we will start from the very beginning and from the idea of the SEO. Sometimes it works better. Sometimes SEO just have, this sense of market and they may offer something that really change the product in very nice way and we have really good results. But sometimes it doesn't work. So I had an experience. I didn't even was a marketer there. It was on the start of my career, and I was just a copywriter in a product again related to travels. And the CEO was very intelligent and very influential and strong personality. He was really interesting man. And I need to know that all other his businesses were very successful, except this one because he had a passion. Some people like cats, some people like dogs. This one, he loved to travel around the world in very, very extreme conditions. And document all details of this trip. So he created very long reports on his blog. And one day he decided, okay, I wrote a kind of three, 300 words, and I can even do more, and I can sell it because it was a time of live journals and people just lead their blogs. So he decided that he can make money on selling these reports about traveling. And the idea was not bad actually, because there were kind of not very big audience, but still audience of travelers that love like rural tourism, dark tourism, kayaking somewhere in Mexico, Appalachian Trail by food, and it's not my type of traveling, but there are a lot of people that like this, and they are climbing, they are going hiking, trekking, whatever, and they create reports about very strange places they visited, and it may be helpful to other tourists who want to to visit this not very common among other tourist places. So we created the website, but he controlled over any details of the site. Finally, he created so many restrictions and so many rules for creators of this records, so that we just didn't have any people willing to sell their records even if they have money for this, because it was really hard to to describe your intention in 400 words, to describe your type of transport and at least 2 dozens of photographs of this transport. And it was strange because I told him I was a copywriter. I was just a copywriter. I told my manager, marketing manager, and I told her, and then I told him, why do we make their life difficult? People don't want to have life difficult. Okay, some people love really difficult tourism, but that it doesn't mean that they will love difficulties in describing all these trails. So this CEO, he didn't allow us to change this, policy, and now this startup is absolutely died. And we even didn't go abroad with this startup. So we stay in Ukraine, despite we had very big plans in US and this market. So it was absolutely failed. And just because the strong personality, this influential and powerful person didn't want to understand that if you love something, it doesn't mean that everyone else are ready to pay for it. Because it's very, very hard, probably, idea for understanding. If you're an entrepreneur, you're a kind of risky person, you saw a lot of in your life, and you had many experiences that confirmed your previous idea, but this time you may fail. And that's exactly what happened with this idea. And it happens often, even more often than I expected, and I suppose much more often than you may expect, because you never know when your idea will be very strong but wrong.
And how can we avoid this? Maybe
Well,
you have some tips.
Yes, sometimes it is solved by second very strong personality working in this company and helping. That's why many people try to come up with their new startups having a co-founder. It's a very good strategy because you can check and verify your new ideas with your partner. So this type of funding, this type of creating startups with your partner is a very good idea. Also, you need to delegate your responsibility to your team. You need to trust people. And first of all, you need to trust your audience. Whatever you may think you are right or your ideas are brilliant, you just need to know that people around may differ from you, and you need to hear from their experience and their opinion, because they will pay, not you but they. And of course I understand it's not very, not very nice to understand this but sometimes you just need to listen to other people. It is much more important for startup to listen than to declare.
Yes, I agree with you. And let's start with next question because we don't have so much time, unfortunately.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, again, sorry. We still have two topics to discuss: crowdfunding and influencers, and what I can say about crowdfunding. Remember, I told about a mobile app with quests that we created with my friends. So we absolutely didn't have money at the beginning, which is also okay if your idea is pretty good. And we started from crowdfunding campaign. This campaign was successful. But many other campaigns started with us and inside our networking, because we had a very wide networking before we started this campaign. We tried to collect all experiences from other people and to somehow make the networking and friendship with all those people who are trying to sell this idea via crowdfunding. So our campaign was successful because we just knew that on the beginning of the campaign, you need to put the 30% of the sum you want to collect using your friends and relatives. If you have zero, you will never have successful campaign. Okay, it's maybe a kind of exclusion, but regularly you will not have this success. So you need to put this 30% of the money you collect on the first stage and within the first 3 days of the campaign, because if you do this, people on the platform, whatever platform you choose for crowdfunding, they will see, okay, that may be popular, so I probably need to pay attention for this. Also, crowdfunding campaign is a marathon that you need to go through, and you need to post every day on all of your social media, and you need to, to invest in your social capital, because you need people, influencers, to help you to make this money. You need a lot of people that will reshare your post and that will tell their network that here are nice guys, and you need to put some dollars to their idea. And of course, you need very nice visual material. Usually, crowdfunding is appeared on the stage when you do not have a business and do not have a product yet. But you need at least visualization, you need videos, you need gifts, whatever. Also, you need to add perks or prizes for all money that people include in your campaign are very important. Something small that you will give for any donation, like $10, $20, whatever. And you may even choose, we have prizes at a low price and we have prizes or perks at a higher price. So if you give us $1,000, we will send you, I don't know, our branded headphones. If you send us $10, we will send you our branded magnet. So people somehow buy gifts at the price much higher than they really cost, but they have something in return. It is much easier for people to just give their money, not for nothing, but for anything that is connected to the good idea that they support. So perks, 30% of crowdfunding campaign that is donated by you and your relatives and your friends. A lot of comments, publications, videos, and really don't hesitate to ask people to give you money. It's not just money for your needs. It's a good idea that people may help you to turn into life, and it's somehow charming for people to make a small contribution to a big result. So you need to put all your marketing efforts to showcase how their small impact will change the world significantly. So this is probably the main thing about crowdfunding. And do you have questions, or I may go to the last point?
I have only one question.
Okay.
Okay. Should we add also our these market analysis to this platform to show people how our product will work or what potential it will have?
That's a very good question. It depends on the audience you are trying to reach. If your main audience are investors that will have some shares in your business, you, by the way, may kind of offer shares in your business in return of big investments, even on crowdfunding campaigns in platforms. It's okay. So if there are people that are really kind of nerdy and they're really involved into math and into digits, sometimes it has sense to give them these clues of your future result and future success. But if it's just a regular people that will contribute to your campaign with their not very big money, it's much more important to add emotional component to this campaign to convince these people that they really do a very important thing, because they are not about the success and they are not willing to be witnesses of your future success in digits, but they want to support you when they feel it from their hearts and when they want to do just something very good. So you need to prove that it is very good, and you need to put more emotional information, pictures, smiles, and emotional messages and emotional copywriting, because it's the way to collect the money from this type of audience. But sometimes if you work with more serious audience, more mass audience that count their money, it has sense to put information about your future discountings and P&L, probably profits and loss that you expect to have, and all this.
Okay, thank you so much for your answer. And
the last one,
yes.
Influencers are paid. Okay, there are several types of influencers. There are nano influencers that have up to 1,000 followers, active followers, I mean. Also, there are micro influencers. They have 1 to 10,000 people followers, and 10 to 100,000. There are macro influencers, and there are also people with other than 100,000 people following them, but probably this is not your audience for startup, because they want really big money for their posts. So influencers are very important on the market now, and if you select influencers wrong, you may spoil the accent that you put into your marketing message. What is the problem? When you work with influencers, you often offer them kind of marketing messages that are very different from their common communication style. Let's say you work in a company that offers maybe some kind of furniture, and you want to add ideas of comfort and nice time at home, and you write this copy like very relaxing and very simple, but you select an influencer who is very influential in your local zone, but their style and their type of communication is kind of, okay, guys, come on and talk to me. So probably this guy will look brilliant in your chair or armchair, but you don't need to make them use your marketing style and marketing communication in their campaign, and you need to double check or even triple check what they are going to say about your brand, because sometimes they don't want to do anything wrong, but they have their style and they have their vision and they have influence, and you need to collaborate with them very wisely, because you need to be friends, just to avoid any conflict situations with this influencer. And of course, you don't need to try to change their type of communication for their audience, because you will use influencer as a channel to reach their audience. So you need to change your marketing activities. About my experience, I had worked with business business startup, business networking startup, and we work with influencers. They have their own businesses, and they offers kind of services and sell tickets to their master classes and workshops. And influencers were our main kind of capital in this startup because everything was related to influencers. It was a platform, and they worked on this platform and offered their services. And of course, each of these influencers, they communicated in very, very different manner. Some of them used even sworn, even bad words, but some of them were very polite and kind of, we are knitting here and we have, this women activity. So it was very difficult to select the right communication manner to promote all the platform with influencers. So we selected super neutral style without any special tone of voice. We just avoided swearing and just avoided too emotional, lexics and words. And it was a good idea because those influencers, they were so bright and they were so special, each of them, that our main focus was just not to interrupt them when they speak and not to spoil their speeches. And we just let them do what they want to do, and it was a success because when you let people speak in the way they want, it's the same when you give the opportunity to your target audience to pay for what it wants to pay, you have the best results. We did it in 46 minutes because that's all that I wanted to say. But probably you have questions.
I have already a question from our YouTube guests.
Okay.
So
let's pick two because we really maybe no we have 15 minutes. Okay, let's just do it in 15
The
minutes.
first question is about brand ambassadors. What do you think? Is it beneficial for startups to have brand ambassador as influencer?
Okay, you mean influencers and brand ambassadors?
Yes.
Yes, brand advocacy and brand ambassadors are highly popular here, and it's more about B2C business, meaning a business that sells goods or services to a client, not to business because it's B2B. So B2C, it's absolutely 100% sure it's advantageous to use this brand advocacy and brand ambassadors, but you need to be very picky. You need to select them and understand that probably you are not the only way for them to make money. And sometimes it's very confusing because actually I told about it in one of our marketing video. I'm not sure if the audience already has the access to it, but you will see it. I know the case when it was kind of clinic of fertility. They helped people to make kids, and they worked with a brand ambassador, and it was very nice. The woman was just brilliant. She was very, very, high sympathy. She applied. She appealed as a high sympathy. So this woman, she also participated in a campaign of contraception. It was kind of 2 years ago before she started to work with this clinic of fertility. But of course, people on the internet, they have really much time to do this. And they found somehow that this woman, she previously worked with a contraception product. So it was a confusion and it was a conflict. It was a very bad idea to involve this influencer. So you need to pick these brand ambassadors, not just from list or from platform that offer influencers. You need to find people because the best brand ambassadors is your clients. You are willing to pay for their services. It's just people who loves your brand, I mean, of course, and your product, and who are ready even to promote your product for no money. If you see these people, because this eagerness and this anxiety, it is finishing very very quickly because people, okay, I'm fond of something and I want to tell everybody on earth what kind of product I have on my table, but I can do it one day, I can do it 2 days, 3 days, but then I need some new motivation to do this, and here you go. You may offer them money for their activity if you say that their comment, their post, they have a lot of attention of your target audience, and this is the best way to get these brand ambassadors. I'm not telling you to avoid the real influencer that can work with you as a contractors, but if you have these people who will support you from the very beginning as a natural users of your startup, natural customers, it will be much better.
Okay, thank you. And the next question is about KPIs. What are the key KPIs of the marketing campaigns that I should monitor?
Okay, it depends on the type of your product, our dear Oscar, whoever you are. Sorry, I don't know. But anyway, there are some typical KPIs or metrics that you need to follow to understand if your startup marketing is successful. First of all, is customer acquisition cost, which means that all money that you spend to attract your customers split it to the number of customers you successfully attracted. Customer acquisition cost is very important metrics. I used to work in it was not a startup, it was a tech company, and it was just a brilliant case, best case of my life, because we followed and we collected this data about customer acquisition cost every week. It was a little bit difficult, but we collected it every week, and we could see the first of all cycle of this customer acquisition cost rising and dropping, and it was very good to know which types of activities change the customer acquisition cost. So this is one of the main metrics. Also, you need to pay attention, of course, to CR or conversion rate, which is applied to different processes. When you work with a funnel, you know how many customers you touched on the first step and how many of them like take this road to the end and come to the last point. And splitting on the each stage of your funnel is counted as a conversion rate. So this is also a very important metric. And what else can be important to you? Probably lifetime value is one of the most important metrics, which means how much money does one person bring you along the whole life within your brand. Let's say you are a pizzeria and a pizza restaurant, and you have a customer who orders pizza like for 10 years, and probably one pizza costs like $10 or $20, I don't know, and you need to count how much money you have for all this time, because if you put $10,000 to attract two customers, probably it's too much for a pizza restaurant. But if you understand that you have a customer for 10 years and you will have this amount of money in return, probably it's not a very big amount. So you need to count it just to come to understand how much money you may invest in this customer attraction and how much money you will invest in loyalty, in in holding them with you, because it's still very important. So probably these are three main metrics.
Okay, thank you. And the last short question.
Okay.
Can I have multiple competitive advantages at the same time, or should I focus on one primary advantage?
Okay, it's a very important question. Yes, thank you for asking. You can have multiple competitive advantage if you don't want your startup to success. And multiple competitive advantage just means that you will need to split your marketing activities to several roles and to several directions, and to put many efforts to somehow highlight each of this competitive advantage. And it will be confusing if you say at the same time, okay, our design is the best, and at the same time, well, our prices are lowest on the market. It may seem difficult because even best brands, the brand number one is Coca-Cola. Their competitive advantage that they promote is cola is your celebration drink. It is your kind of drink for Christmas, for New Year, for any celebration, any holidays. So whatever number of competitive advantages Coca-Cola has, they also always highlight only this one, and it is very smart because people don't have this memory to remember all this competitive advantage you want to promote. So it is much more important to focus on one. It may be if you are not certain in a particular competitive advantage, you need to your hand and your mind works like, okay, I need something more because it's not enough. It's not enough to stay on market. That's wrong. You need to be certain. You need to find a competitive advantage that is pretty strong to cover all your needs and all your target audience needs, which is even more important.
So, thank you guys. I think we will discuss or answer all your other questions in our upcoming publication on social media, if it's okay. And at the end of our live stream, I just need to announce our next upcoming live stream, also related to marketing on startup. But this time we will talk about budget and how to save your money. So, please, if you want to us to discuss your startup, please share your history with us on private messages or in special form. We will add it under this video. Thank you so much, and bye. Have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you so much. And please take this opportunity to be our lucky guide with a pre-marketing consulting session. It may be useful and helpful for you. So thank you for your attention today. It was a very nice experience to us, and we hope you enjoyed it at least a little bit. So it was nice to see all you guys, and thank you for your messages in our live chat. So see you later. Bye bye. Have a great day ahead.